Just take a moment to feel how you're doing in this moment. Arrive fully. Today we're going to talk about the second thing. The second thing, and I'll give you a little illustration of what I mean coming from being a math teacher. Hey, Chloe, welcome. So if y'all are here, let me know. Give me a hi, a little thumbs up, something to say you're listening, you're tuning in, you're feeling what I'm putting down. And of course, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm ready to address anything I can. So the second thing, like hashtag the second thing, okay? In a math classroom, our job is to get people to think. It seems like our job is to get people to answer questions right and get good grades. And of course, that is a measurement, or at least theoretically a measurement. Welcome, Charlene. Welcome, Brittany. Welcome, April. Welcome, Kasha. But the actual thing that we're trying to do in a math classroom is teach people how to think. Hey, Anu. So when the confusing thing that happens, and y'all have all experienced this, okay? That's why I'm bringing in this illustration. We're not actually talking about becoming better math educators. I'm using this because y'all have all been math students. And so you know what it feels like to be genuinely problem solving and thinking and like using your mind and innovating and coming up with new ideas and all of that. And you also know what it feels like to just be going through the motions and not really even understanding what you're doing. So as a teacher, as an educator, working in a system that frankly has a 100-year-long, if not longer, history of saying it's going to teach people how to think, but not only was it a hard thing to do, but I was battling against decades, if not centuries, of people who were kind of driving us in the wrong direction. Ideas about what it means to be good at math, ideas about what it means to even do math. And so one of the most powerful and easy things that I learned when I was teaching math was to simply ask students for a second sentence. So just as an example, the most common first sentence was 2 or 17 or 5x squared minus 22x plus 7, right? Like it was a thing. It was an answer. The first sentence was an answer. And if I just let them finish there, I had no evidence if they were thinking or not. None, because they could be just reading from their friend's paper, or they could have gotten the answer sheet somehow. They might have been doing their own thinking and figured it out, but it was impossible for me to know. And so I was trained to ask them just for a second sentence. And that became like, we didn't really use hashtags at the time, but hashtag second sentence. Like it was such a simple move that immediately transformed the conversation. Immediately. Kids couldn't say a second sentence and not articulate their thinking. So it was very effective. And that experience stuck with me. Like, just get them to say a second sentence. Just get them to do, like, fine, they have the answer, but then what? Right answer, wrong answer. Say something else. You don't have to manage what they say. You don't have to get them to say a particular thing. You just want them to say anything. So I would love to know what you're getting from this. Does it feel like I'm some like geeky math teacher talking about something completely unrelated, or are y'all making connections? No right or wrong answer. I'm genuinely interested. As I'm waiting to see, okay, great. Chloe, you're feeling it? Charlene, okay, great. Okay. When we're doing And right now I'm going to talk to you as the ones who are transforming, but everything that I'm saying is also true when you're facilitating transformation, as I know all of you are. When you are doing your own transformational work, it is huge when you have a big awareness, when you have a big insight, when you have a big realization. Hi, Rochelle. It's huge. It is necessary. So in my mind, when you're doing transformational work, the first thing is awareness. Where in math class, the first thing might be answer. And I'm not trying to, again, not putting out any math education philosophy right now, just referencing the experience everybody has. If math class's first thing is the answer, the second thing is just anything else that shares thinking, a second sentence. When it comes to transformation, if the first thing is awareness, the second thing is what you do with it. The world is waking up. The world is getting more conscious. The world is becoming more aware. And actually, you know, if we're really honest with ourselves, I think we know that the world has known. The world has known racism exists. The world has known injustice was happening. The world has known that people were suffering. There's more waking up that's happening. I want to say both. But what we do with it is a big question mark. And in exactly the same way that for over a century, math students have graduated without actually thinking or understanding why 2 + 2 = 4 or 17x - 44 + 3 equals what the whole, I can't do that correctly in my mind, but like without actually really understanding what they're doing. In exactly the same way, spiritual people, conscious people, transformational visionary people have had endless insight and realization and not fucking done anything with it. Hi, Nyla. It's part of the system, okay? You can blame it on government. You can blame it on shitty math education. You can blame whatever. I don't care. It's fine. You don't have to, in other words, you don't have to blame yourself. But look at the truth. That you know more than what you are putting into action. Case in point, me, right? When I started coaching, when I started my business, I had been listening to Abraham Hicks for like 5 years. I had been to multiple of their events. I had been to India multiple times. I had led retreats. I was teaching meditation. I knew all about the power of the mind. I had watched The Secret. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew in my head a lot. But I was still living in toleration, accepting all kinds of things that were not what I wanted. And I wasn't holding the standard the same. So I was actually, and I think a lot of people do this, I was rewarding myself. I was kind of feeling like I got the payoff with just the insight. The insight would come and I would just like love up on my brilliant brain. And then I would stop. So I say to you again, the awareness is prerequisite. You can't do anything conscious in your life. You cannot be a conscious creator if you're not aware of the universal teachings, if you're not looking at the truth of your life experience, if you're not having peak experiences when you go meditate or go on retreat or do psychedelics. Stephanie, yes, we upload everything. It's on YouTube, Facebook, and IGTV. Those things are catalysts for awakening. The awakening is essential. Welcome, Erica. The awakening is essential. It's just not the whole story. What's the second thing? What's the second thing? What are you going to do with your big awareness? Well, now you see. I mean, you can't actually see, you see my office, but I'm literally on the sand. I'm looking at the sand. I'm looking at the ocean. I can walk 10 steps and my feet will be on the beach. Paying more in rent in a month than I used to pay in a year. Quite a bit more, actually. Not quite twice as much as I used to pay in a year, in a month now. Coaching my ideal clients, making millions, and helping them make millions. And really putting into practice, when I have an insight, when I have an awakening, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that? Who's that for? And I want to be clear, I don't actually just mean, it's great that I'm sharing with you guys, like for sure, that's part of it, is to serve the world, to speak it out loud. But that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about today is the inside work, right? That when I realize the truth that I create my own reality, that I have agency to actually affect change in my life and therefore in the world, that I then take that ownership on. That I look at my life. Where am I in alignment with my dreams and vision? And where am I not in alignment with my dreams and vision? And the stuff that I'm doing in alignment, I'm going to do that even more deliberately. Welcome, Dorta. And the stuff that is out of alignment, I'm going to do the work to change it. That's an example. When you go to a seminar and you learn, people can make millions. People can make $100,000 in a month. People can make $167,000 in a month. People can make $241,000 in a month doing what they love. That changes everything. Yes, you're fucking right. It changes everything. Now, what are you gonna do with it? What's your second thing? It doesn't have to look like my second thing, okay? I'm not telling you to do a specific thing. I'm just telling you to freaking use the thing that you've got. Milk that sucker. Take it all the way. Why is it here? What is it here to show you? Echo Forest, what's really hitting home for you? I want to know. Charlene, I'm reading your comment. You were teaching them how to think, and that is a lifelong skill to have. I'm teaching my students how to be self-taught people. Beautiful. So important. So important. What's hitting home? What are you getting from this? It is about taking action. It is about taking action. Oh, I love that because it's taking me deeper. It's like, it's about action, but it's not just any action, okay? It's not arbitrary. It's not like you just like focus then entirely on action and give up the awareness. The awareness is what guides the action. The awareness is what lights up the action. The awareness is what inspires the action. The awareness is what focuses the action, curates the action. Oh, I like that one the best. So give me some examples. Like, what's a new insight you've had in the last week? What was a big aha moment for you where you were like, whoa, that's different? This could be a spiritual aha. It could also be a political aha. Like for me, one of the things that came up was just realizing, like, my personal reaction, I'm not trying to take us in a political direction, but I think it's important to name. When I found out that Trump had COVID, my first response was, was planned. Like, this is a manipulation. He was like, he's scheduled to have COVID because he thinks that's going to help him get more of the votes or something like that. And I was chastened by how deeply cynical I have become. I have no idea if I'm right or not, but it doesn't matter. It's like, well, that's a wake-up call to me to realize how deeply out of trust I feel with the government. And so then it's like, okay, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do with that? And then I ended up donating some money to I donated $1,080 to a voter organization, and am just really monitoring my thoughts around the future of our world, because it's not serving me to be walking around feeling like there are enemies out to get me. For me personally, I just know that like when I start to think that way, I create very fucked up scenarios in my life. It's not useful, that line of thinking. So it's a similar thing when you're an activist and you see George Floyd's murder documented, or you have, hi Ariel, hey sis, hey Annette. It's like, it's a big wake up. Oh my God, systemic racism is not better. If anything, it might be worse. And then what are you gonna do? You gonna feel bad? Like, look at what you choose. Are you just gonna use that to feel shitty about yourself in the world? Or are you gonna go do something? And I'm not saying this to shame you into going to become an activist. I'm saying, like, this is, what are you doing on the inside with the information that comes into your life? When you have a wake-up call, what are you doing with it? Let's go back to basics. This just dropped in. Thank you, Dorta. Because we're talking about awakening, we're talking about alarm clocks. So think about it. The alarm clock going off is one thing, but that doesn't actually get you out of bed. The alarm clock goes off, it wakes you up, and then you choose. Are you going to get up, or are you going to stay in bed? And then let's be real clear. The alarm went off on Saturday by accident. I turned it off. I stayed in bed. Okay. This is not about shaming one direction or another. It's about mining the magnificent power of what is happening in your life to create more of what you want. Rochelle, I'm super interested in this. 80% of my energy is going to 20% of my business. Why is that? What is that? Is that working for you? Yes. Awareness is what curates the action. It's such a great job, Jesse Johnson. Let's actually just stay with that for a second. Awareness is what curates the action. That's an example. I know this is super meta, but go with me. Y'all are smart. When you that might be like a new concept. Awareness is what creates the action. So then what are you going to do with it right now? You guys tell me, what's one thing that you're going to do as a result of this conversation? Being in my mastery and really believing it attracts the right people or opportunities. This is beautiful. So this is enough, and there's always more. So I'm just going to use this as the example to go deeper. Being in my mastery, what does that look like? That's an exercise you can do. Like, what does it look like to be in my mastery? When I'm not in my mastery, what does that look like? What does it look like to really believe that your mastery attracts the right people and opportunities? What does it look like? What does it not look like? This is another thing I learned from being a math teacher. When you know what it isn't, it helps you know what it is. You know, when we were teaching integers or teaching radical numbers or teaching a concept, it was so helpful to know what it wasn't to help understand and deepen what it is. And of course, that piggybacks on Abraham Hicks, who teach when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. Contrast is helpful. So good, April. Yeah. P.S. One of the things that I have instructed my clients to do is prioritize coming to this live every week. It's free. It's open to the public. Anyone can come. But the people that are paying to work with me, get your asses in here. Because this is a place where we can go deeper, because I know exactly what you're working on. I know exactly what you're thinking about. And I'm tailoring literally everything I'm talking about to you. I'm thinking about you while I'm here. So I'm just giving a shout out, because when you guys show up and make this action a priority, then you are setting yourself up to get more out of your insights, more out of the money that you've spent on our work together, more out of the energy and time and heart that you've put into this. All right, Chloe, hold the space or the container longer with my clients. Get comfortable in the silences. Allow for pivoting or transformation during the conversations. Beautiful. So again, in order to follow through on that, you can take yourself deeper by building in time for reflection after every one of your conversations, where you actually look at this exact sentence you just wrote. This is on Instagram, so I can't show it on the screen, but hold the space, the container longer with my clients. How are you going to measure that? How are you going to know if you did that? Get comfortable in the silences. Just setting that intention, reviewing that intention right before you get on the call, and then reflecting on that intention after will be game changing. Allow for pivoting or transformation during the conversations. Chloe, I think for you, just literally like taking 1 minute before every conversation and 3 to 5 minutes after every conversation and building in that cushion to reconnect to your vision around this and reflect on your vision around this is all that you need to lock that in. Hey, Shri. Hey, Rose. All right. So Anu, I was doing some deep dive work into my core values, and all of a sudden it illuminated my relationships to friends, people, society, authority, my relationship to past events. Let's talk about this, because this has been coming up a lot. And I have had multiple clients in the last 3 days. We just did fuck faking it on Thursday, Friday. So people are like, woo, 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 so much is coming through. It always happens like that. And what are you going to do with it? It's so easy to go to a 2-day event and then do nothing. Just have a peak experience and then forget all about it. Easy. That's easy. Why would you do that? I don't know why you would do that, but people do it all the time. I'm sure I've done it also, okay? But I want to come back to Anu's because, again, this has come up so much. People have said to me so much in the last few days, I need to clean up my relationships. I'm spending time with people that are not in alignment with me. They're a no to me. They're a no to my vision. They're not supportive. I feel drained after I spend time with them, blah, 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 blah. The awareness, their clarity is huge. Yes, is it? Their clarity is huge. But if they're still hanging around those people, they haven't done anything. So, Anu, for you, I think this is coming through because this has come through for so many people. It's important to actually make it concrete. What is it actually going to look like? Who are you going to terminate a friendship with? Who are you going to stop talking to? Who are you going to set a boundary with? What is that going to look like? You can't leave this open-ended or it won't change. Your default setting is what you've been doing. You got to know that. Your default setting is whatever you've been doing up until now. So if you have a big insight and you realize this thing needs to change, you got to plan the change. Commit to the change. Map it out. Yeah, done. Move out of our awareness that we've been curating into action. Yes. And again, I know that when we're here, it's easy to stay general. I want you guys, that's fine if I stay general as long as you guys are getting specific. But if you don't get specific, that's not going to help you either. So make sure you're asking the questions you need to ask in order to get as specific as you need to get so that you can actually make something change. Guys, if you don't have the money in your bank account today, Wednesday, October 7th, that you want to have, that can change today. That's another great example. You look in your bank account and you're like, oh, I don't have enough to ... make my coaching payment, make my rent payment, invest in my vacation little bucket. Save what I had planned to save, put money away to pay off my credit card debt, whatever. If you don't have it today and you don't make a plan to change that, it's not going to change. The awareness is essential. Like, why would you know that you need to make more money if you don't look at how much money you have? That's really important. But if you don't actually do anything with the awareness. It gets lost. It's like you're wasting the tremendous, precious, so hard-earned value of the awareness that you have. It is here for you. It is here for you. So go fucking prove it to yourself. And prioritize ease in the process. Rihanna, I was projecting my fear of the future onto my husband, him having to do the work, when in actuality, no one else is responsible for my future well-being. Now my practice is leaning into me. I can't see the whole comment. Poop. Rihanna, I love that. Oh, me as the only one who I can rely on. Here we go. I got it. No one else is responsible for my future well-being. Boom. That's a powerful one. Let's talk about that one for a second. That's the insight. That's the language that describes the insight. No one else is responsible for my future well-being. Who's responsible? Me. Okay, great. Beautiful awareness. Super powerful awareness. Now, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to put that into practice? And just to shout out all the super excessively independent women who might be on here, how do you claim full responsibility for your future well-being and relying on yourself and still stay open to intimacy and support? Right? So you're not going into defense mode where you're just like, I can take care of it, I'm fine. But you're like, I am the one who has agency here. I am the one who can determine that I will have all that I want and need when I want and need it. And thanks so much for your help. I love being supported like that. Yes. So Anu, this is great. Super concrete. How many relationships do you want to have? And what are you going to do? Like, give yourself a little structure. It doesn't have to be rigid. It doesn't have to be rigid. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. But like, how many people do you want to meet this week? Where are you going to meet them? Easy is freaking here for you. No doubt. This is so powerful, Rochelle. This is beautiful. One-on-one coaching is where I feel fully aligned. I love the retreats and programs and creating them, but it is taking up more energy when I need to focus on where I feel aligned. Ease is here for me. So what's Rochelle doing? Focusing more on one-on-one coaching. I am so thrilled for you. I'm so proud of you. Great, great job. You guys are amazing. So Rihanna, great follow-up. What's the plan now? To, on the daily, take action to feel I got me. Self-care, study, work, play, meet my goals. I want to emphasize that one. There is nothing that you can do to rebuild trust with yourself more effectively and efficiently than meeting the goals that you set for yourself. And I had a beautiful conversation yesterday with a freaking brilliant woman. Shout out to Davy. I can't remember her Instagram. It's like pickles and something. We'll find it. Put it in the comments. But we're also going to quote her on social because it's such a powerful, powerful moment when she said, as soon as I set a goal, I make myself vulnerable to failing. Pickles and Prosecco. Thank you, Rochelle, on Instagram. She's brilliant, hilarious, brilliant woman. So we all know that, but it was so potent when I heard her say it so like clearly, quickly. It's like, yeah, this is why people don't set goals. This is why they don't look in the bank account. This is why they don't say, I want better relationships. I want more money. I want to be living my purpose more. They don't get in it because it's vulnerable. Because as soon as they put their stake in the ground, then yeah, you've measured, this is what it looks like to be successful and this is what it looks like to fail. But I'm telling you right now, there is no better strategy to rebuilding your own self-confidence, your own trust in yourself than to set goals that you are absolutely dedicated to and making them real. Start small. Start with stuff that you know how to do. You guys are fire. I love you so much. Yep. Open up to be vulnerable and step into the consciousness from there. I just want to shout out you guys, my community, my audience, my loves. After fuck faking it, which, by the way, get ready, we're going to do it again in January. It's going to be great. I got so much positive feedback and specific feedback about how open and engaged and vulnerable and powerful my community is. Like the room that I was facilitating this last couple of days was filled with people like that. And what we're doing here is the same. It's you. And I just want to shout you out and thank you, because it makes what I'm doing so rewarding, so fun, so pleasurable. And I mean, I'm going to do it unconditionally. Y'all can resist as much as you want. And I want to really celebrate you in this moment as a collective, that we are changing what it means. We are changing what it means to be successful. We are changing what it means to make money. We are changing the speed with which we understand this can be possible. And it's a movement. It's not just about me. It's not just about Kate. It's not just about Tamara. It's about the collective of vibrant, conscious leadership. And y'all are all a part of that. So I want to acknowledge you. I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone that came to Fuck Faking It. Y'all guys were amazing. And I'll just leave you with that to really explore over the next week. What's your second thing? What's your second sentence? What's your action? What's your curated action from the call to fuck faking it? What does that look like for you this week? So share in the comments of whatever platform you're watching on. And if you start to post material that you think is relevant to this, then use the hashtag fuckfakingit2020. And then we'll see it no matter what. You can tag me, of course, but like, let's get fuck faking it 2020 trending. What do you say? I love you guys so much. As always, thank you for being here. Please share this video with anyone that you think would benefit from listening. Let me know what questions you have, how I can help, how my team can help, how my resources can help. And let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Y'all are beautiful.